Hey guys, Matt here. I'm here with Jake and Dale,
Hello.
and
Hey guys.
yeah, so enjoy some Marco We in the background because we're going to be reviewing some Spider-Man No Way Home. This is a very emotional
This
movie.
review was long in the making.
Yes, very long.
This movie came out during a very difficult time. It was coming out like the week before holidays were coming, and we didn't have much time to do it, but we wanted to do it that week. But with events and stuff and holidays, etc. We had to hold off, and we're doing it right now.
Yeah,
Um, Even though like the hype, this movie's still getting a lot of hype, to be honest. But
it is, but just not
it's
as
we're
much
not
as
we're
it
not
was.
we apologize that we're not doing this when like that opening week when everyone was like nonstop talking about it.
Yeah, and also it was like
Um,
an awkward time because it was like right before Christmas, anyways.
mhm.
So
Yeah, mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've been hyping up this movie on this channel. We did a suit tier list that went sort of
very bad.
disastrous.
It went very
We did
good
we did react to
for
the
like
second trailer, so we've definitely um been really excited for this movie. Just
yeah.
so how I want to do this is I know it's like been a month since the movie came out, but we're gonna just do non-spoiler stuff first, and it's gonna be very brief because with this
Yes.
movie I feel like you can't say too much without a spoiler. Like you can't
Yeah.
go into a lot of
Because
detail unless there's a
we were going to
that's
do two reviews for this movie, a non-spoiler version and another spoiler version, but since the movie has been out for a month, we're just going to skip that thing. So for new movies, there'll be two reviews for
yeah
one
when
movie.
when if we if we
Mhm.
if Multiverse of Madness gets like the hype that like this movie's getting, then we'll definitely do that. We'll do a spoiler and non-spoiler thing
Yeah, for
if
sure.
we get around to it.
Oh yeah.
Like
And
I know I'm definitely know after this movie I'm definitely looking forward to Multiverse of Madness. I don't know
yeah.
if you guys stayed for the post-credit scene for the trailer, but
I'm really interested for Morbius and that actually.
yeah, I think Morbius is gonna suck though. It,
Ugh, don't remind me. I feel that too. I feel like it's gonna suck, and then here's my sister like, I actually want to see that because of the actor, and I'm like, don't hurt it even
Tom
more.
Holland.
well, I
Okay,
guess that
so
is everything.
all right, so I'm gonna pull up my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a list. So what's weird when I'll just do the basic plot first. That's like one sentence because I don't want to like give anything away for like spoilers. So I have to say it as like limited. I'll just go about like what we got in the trailers. Okay, so um, for those who don't know, this is the third installment in the trilogy of the MCU Spider-Man, and the movie picks off at the end of Far From Home, where Mysterio reveals Peter Parker's identity to the world that he is Spider-Man, and now he is pretty much, now that everybody knows, and now he is framed for the murder of Mysterio. He's pretty much seen as like sort of like
A
a
villain.
villain. Sort of.
Vigilante.
Yeah.
A piece of shit.
Um, and with that, he requests the help of Doctor Strange to pretty much make everyone forget that he ever was Spider-Man. And Peter, being naive as he is, he botches a spell, and a bunch of villains show up. And that's all I can say without spoiling. I think that's all you see from the trailers. Like you know, you
No,
know,
yeah, I would say that's pretty much right.
yeah. So with the non-spoiler stuff, I actually want to start with the cons first because I feel like there's a lot more good to this movie than bad.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be mostly positive. So I just want to get like the negative stuff out of the way first, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start and we'll like with my list, and then you guys can just comment or um. So first thing I want to point out with this cons is the CGI wasn't the best. It got a little wonky at times. Um, but with a Marvel movie, I'm kind of expected with that at this point. I just feel like with Marvel CGI, it's really gone. It's either like
Worse.
really good or really bad. I feel like they get
Yeah.
different teams to do each different movie. Because sometimes like
at
some
least
movies
ruin in the 2000s.
Shang-Chi, for example, was like really good CGI, and then you have like some moments in like other Marvel movies where it's just like the CGI is just bleh. Looking at you, Black Panther Final Battle. So like I mean, and I'm kind of like it's just I'm so used to that consistency that I'm just used to at this point. It's not really like I know it's not going to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they've honestly had a problem with CGI since Iron Man 3. I'm sorry. Ever since Iron Man 3 came out, the CGI has been like sort of this like downward spiral. Like it go like and I'm not saying like all Marvel movies have had bad CGI. Like I'm just
You're
saying
saying
like
from like that movie on has had it bad.
has had low spikes, I should say. Where it's had because like the Avengers movies had really good CGI, but like
Yeah.
some of the standalone films that just had bad. Um, anything else about CGI, or do you guys want to move on to the next sort of
It
thing?
was okay
No.
to me.
Okay.
Didn't really wow
Yeah,
with it.
I mean, I like I said, I'm used to it, and also I just want to point out too is none of these cons ruin the movie for me. These are
Yeah.
just flaws I'm critiquing. You know what I mean? It doesn't like ruin the movie, like, oh, this movie's bad now because I see flaws in it.
Yeah,
Like,
literally,
no,
like,
that's not the case.
I could care less about,
Um,
like, the CGI, even if it looks trashy, like it's a superhero movie. It's kind of intended to be that way, honestly, to me.
yeah, like it
Mhm.
just like, all my cons just they don't ruin the movie for me. This movie's still amazing, and like I'm just,
I guess you could
but
say it's the
I know
amazing
it's flawed.
Spider-Man.
Though I know it's flawed. No movie is
Right.
perfect, so
Yeah.
that's why it's it has flaws. So another thing is the Lizard and the Sandman were probably the weakest villains that were in this movie. I just feel like they were pretty much on the sideline the whole time. Lizard is being the weakest because he literally just sort of dipped out and just showed up out of nowhere.
He kind
He's
of
like, "Yeah,
just,
I'm back."
he kind of just existed, and that was it.
Yeah,
I don't remember
I
him that
mean,
much.
yeah, and with Sandman, I feel like it was the same thing, but Lizard was definitely the weakest villain. But with Sandman, he still had some level of motivation, I should say, without getting to spoilers. Even though I would say it would be a spoiler for Spider-Man 3, but yeah, but with Lizard and Sandman, they were probably the weakest villains. Next thing I have is there are some plot holes, but that doesn't ruin the experience. I mean, when you're dealing with stuff with like the multiverse, and it's either with the multiverse or time travel, you're gonna have plot holes anyway. Because
Mhm.
there's just sometimes in the movie where it's like, that you just have more questions. Whereas like, there's a scene where Sandman is talking with the villains, and he's like, you guys died, like, and it was like, oh, it was all over the news. So it was like, okay, so if everyone knew Green Goblin was Norman Osborn, how did and that he died by his own glider, how the hell did Harry just not know that and just immediately was like, Spider-Man killed my dad, I'm gonna go after him. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about,
I,
but
from,
I know exactly what you're going at. It's just some of it I didn't catch right away because I'm currently in the middle of my own thing.
okay. Yeah, so that's just I know like there are just some plot holes, but I know some of them can be easily explained because I know one of the biggest ones was why how does Electro know he's Spider-Man? Peter Parker is Spider-Man. How do you get through? And there are some like clues through that were in the movie. But like I said, like if you deal stuff with either time travel or the multiverse, you're gonna have plot holes. Like
Mm,
it's inevitable. It's
yeah.
just some you just can't. So like I said, another thing is this one's just a personal thing for me. Um, the electro theme only played for like 1 second. You know, don't knows what I'm. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, but Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he has probably one of the best like villain themes in all the Spider-Man movies, and I was really hyped to if they were gonna play it in the movie when Electro shows up. And they did, but it was for like only 1 second, and that made me upset. I was like, no. If
it would
you
hurt you.
if you Yeah, but this is just a personal critique of mine. But I strongly recommend if you want to hear something really dope and look up Electro's theme. It's
Yeah,
awesome
I'll put
because when I
I'll put it in the video for however long we can get copyrighted. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
because like when I was watching like the credits when I saw it, it said like electro theme like when they do the music credits, and I was like, what? The electro theme was in the movie and I didn't even hear it. Then it took me and I was like, oh, they only played it for like a second. I was like, those assholes! How dare they? But yeah, that's just and the other thing is another one. It's do with music again. Is they didn't play "Hero" by Chad Kroeger. They didn't play. Again, nobody knows what I'm talking about, but at the end of the original Spider-Man, um, the credits song is the song "Hero" by Nickelback singer Chad Kroeger. Um, it's honestly a banger,
I think I know what you're talking
but
about.
it's
I
very
think
like
I do.
um but like when you think of like the original Spider-Man movie, it's that song.
Yeah,
That's so that's just another thing. It's just for like nostalgia thing.
yeah.
So now we can move on to the good stuff. Um so first things first, I thought the pacing was I thought that the pacing was good. I thought the action was good. Obviously this was a very emotional movie. Um
Yes.
From beginning to
very,
end.
very emotional. Um I there are moments that just left me in tears. Um, and with that, with emotion, I feel like it handled tone very well.
Yeah,
The another critique
Hmm.
of Marvel movies that I have is that they do comedy and stuff, but I feel like a lot of times it just kills the tone of the movie. Um, I'll give an example for a Marvel movie that Matt's seen, Shang-Chi. You probably don't remember this scene, but do you remember the scene where they're flying on the plane and Shang-Chi's talking about his backstory?
the
And
Sean
then the
part.
flight attendant just interrupts him
The
with a
Sean.
stupid line.
Oh no, I don't
Yeah,
remember the flight attendant, but I remember the Sean part.
but there's like, all right, so let me try to. So there's like a scene where they're flying to China
Yes.
or whatever, and he's trying to tell Katie his backstory of like how he was trained and stuff, and then the flight attendant just interrupts it, and this is supposed to be a serious backstory of like tragedy and stuff, and this flight attendant interrupts the whole thing to do a stupid question line that's supposed to be funny, and that just like killed the whole tone for me because this is supposed
Ugh.
to be trying to be
White
serious.
people as always. Come on. You have enough screen
So,
time?
but what I'm saying with this movie is that it handles the tone well in that it knows when to be funny and it knows when to be serious. Like like it doesn't like it doesn't have an emotional moment and then interrupt it by something funny. Like
Yeah.
you it handles its tone well.
Yeah.
So that's
And like
all
that
right.
isn't
So
a
another
bad
thing.
thing. Like unless you do it right, like it can be a good thing to do. But like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it depends on how well you execute it, but generally with the
Yeah.
Marvel movies, I don't think they execute it well.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
said, with
yeah.
that Shang-Chi scene, I was like, really? Like this is supposed to be a character developing moment, and you're just like, oh, funny, haha. So yeah, another thing is I want to give a next the next two pros are just gonna be the actors, and I'm just gonna give them props. First of all, I want to give props to Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He absolutely killed it this time. I think this was his best performance as Peter Parker in
Yes.
Spider-Man, like he's ever done.
Yes.
Like he gave it his all in this movie.
The second
Like
half of the movie.
I've never seen him not only like just handling this like emotion well, but like he like there's moments where he's visibly angry and enraged, and you see it in his face. He did a fantastic job, and I think he should get an Oscar nomination because he did such a great job. He was phenomenal. I think
I
another
completely
one
agree.
is another one that's probably pretty obvious because this one's when you talk about this movie, everyone's gonna bring it up. Willem Dafoe is the Green Goblin. Like,
Mm,
come on, come on.
I'm pretty
all I have to
sure.
say is the way he was introduced was a thing that really surprised me. Of
You
he
know,
was acting like himself with
Norman.
Ant-Man
Yeah,
and was
he
like,
was Norman.
yeah, and it's like you don't really see it, and even Peter was like, he doesn't seem like a threat. Why does he seem like a threat or
Yeah.
whatever? And then
You
he
know,
figures out that later on it's really out there.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
I
like
mean,
that, how they built him up.
he he was absolutely amazing. He was a menace. He was intimidating. He was scary at times. Like he was, and
Yes.
The scene where he was
and
just
Willem
getting
Dafoe came
punched.
back to this role almost 20 years later, like he never left it.
Yeah.
He came back with like harder, and I that was amazing. He gave it his all, and I love that. And like I said when we talked about the trailer, and I was like, when we did the trailer discussion, I brought up that that Green Goblin, like Venom's my favorite Spider-Man villain, but Green Goblin is second place for me, and but specifically Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man movie, and this one just made me love him a whole lot more. He just brought such familiarity to him, but also brought new to the table, a new level of sort of brutality and just like you know what I mean?
Mm,
Yeah.
Right? He definitely stole the show for me. Um, there's another actor character who stole the show for me, but he's a spoiler, so I can't say.
Yeah. So
Um,
I
so
think I
leave the
might know
video
who,
now.
and I don't
you
blame
you
you at
know
the
who I'm talking about.
slightest.
Um, yeah. So, and the last thing I have that's like not a spoiler, as honestly for me, everything I've talked about on this channel in like discussions with Matt of like my problems with the MCU Spider-Man. And all of that was literally fixed at the end of the movie. All of it. By the end of this movie, he turned into the Spider-Man that I knew, that I like looked up to as a kid. He turned into that Spider-Man. Like when at the end of this movie, I'm like, that's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man back out
He's
with a
Spider-Man.
crippling depression.
Like 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 I like, and I'm happy that he's now this version of Spider-Man is going back to the roots of like what made the
Yeah.
character so good and what
I
made this character
I
so
I enjoy the adult aspect of Spider-Man greatly because it gives like a real effect that like people actually go through.
yeah, like like Peter was always because like I said, like previous I like Spider-Man always had like his suits given to him by like Tony Stark or like high-tech equipment and like you know like it's
Yeah.
always like he's always had a any the stuff with like Iron Man and stuff, just having him like sort of this mentor be like this rich billionaire who just will just give him all these fancy weaponry and equipment, and it didn't feel right to me, and it just didn't feel like the Spider-Man that like I knew.
Yeah. I kind of agree
And
with
I
that.
know they were trying to do something different, and I respect them for that. And definitely after this movie, I have a different like outlook on the other two movies in the trilogy, but like I said, like it just didn't feel right for me. Like, but I'm not saying like Tom Holland's like was terrible as something. I think he's a great. I still think he was a fantastic choice for Spider-Man. Like, he still did a great job, even in those two movies. He still did great. But but it's just that his character just didn't feel like this like Spider-Man to me. He felt like more of. But at the end of this movie, he turned into that Spider-Man, like that we all know.
Yeah.
Feel, love, and appreciate and everything.
The one we all know and love. Like, okay. So, if you guys have anything else, I think we should just jump right into the spoilers there.
I was gonna
I
say it. I
yeah.
got nothing to say other than spoilers.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
will say I
we'll
really
do one.
I enjoyed God, who was it? Willem Dafoe, like you said.
Green Goblin.
Yeah, I really relate to him. I also have bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
I'm
All
glad I
right,
can be
so we're
represented that
gonna do
way.
a count. We'll just do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for spoilers. If you don't want it
Yes.
to be spoilers,
So guys, if you did not
look
watch
away
it,
now.
thank you for
Look
watching.
away now.
Like and sub.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Anyway, spoilers. So I really enjoyed the part where Aunt May died.
I feel like this was. I know everyone was predicting that Aunt May or Happy was gonna die. Like I remember seeing so many theories about that, and you know, it was actually a pretty emotional death, I should say. Like just
It
all jokes
was.
aside, like
It was brutal
they
for.
did it like really like, and it caught you so off guard, like because
Yeah.
she's like, fine, and then she just collapses, and you're like, wait, what's going on? Like, oh no.
Yeah,
Well,
like
see, here's how I looked at it, and I'm gonna say this as much as everyone's gonna hate me for it. Once she said exactly of with great power, I literally went, "Oh, she's dying. Oh, you
Yeah.
bastard, she's dying."
oh yeah, I was about to say like I didn't catch that. Like I was like, oh, what an inspirational line, and then she died. I'm like, wait, what? Why did she die? And then I remembered, oh, she said, oh no.
Yeah.
That's when I went, "Oh no."
Yep.
But other than that, honest to God, it wasn't the fact that the movie was just spectacular overall just because of what happened in the movie. It was just great because I loved the multiverse, period. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
And when I heard multiverse, I freaked out in my own brain. I went,
and honestly, Multiverse of Madness is gonna be insane. It's gonna be like something else. Like
right.
especially with all the rumors and stuff of characters that's gonna be in it, like Deadpool, like it's like if you didn't think your theater erupted during No Way Home, wait until Multiverse of Madness, and
Right.
everyone will have standing ovations. Like it will be insane. But
Because also, everyone's been waiting for a second Doctor Strange. And with the
yeah.
fact that it's a multiverse type deal, everyone's going to go see it. Come on.
Plus Scarlet Witch
Oh,
is
does
gonna
that
be
mean
like
I should
a
see
the
like?
side character.
What is there any movies I have to watch before this movie?
Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
If you've seen Doctor Strange, you're fine to me.
Okay, I need
Yeah.
to see that. So if
I would
you have,
I would. This is optional, but I would say What If, because that's the multiverse, and either watch Loki or What If, because those shows deal with the multiverse and kind of set the groundworks for the multiverse and kind of like how it works.
Loki looks cool.
But it's like I said, it's completely optional.
Yeah,
it's completely optional.
Loki looks cool. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind watching it through the channel.
I was gonna say the only other thing I would say is maybe my buddy said it to me is maybe the only other thing is maybe the last 3 episodes of WandaVision.
Yeah.
And he said you don't have to watch the whole series. You literally just need to watch the last 3 episodes, and you'll figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching that either. Both of those shows.
Yeah, I know WandaVision gets a lot of shit, but I absolutely love them.
I look at the show and say, I do want to watch it. Do not get me wrong. But because of me being the hater that I am, and I'm just like, I really don't like this show, and I really don't want to watch it. But don't get me wrong, when I did see it at first, it did look pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
it taking place in different times.
I think I said it on the channel, but I think it was mainly just because I had more relatability to Wanda, that I just had more of an emotional attachment. And plus, I just thought the whole concept was pretty like horrifying, like having her kidnap this entire town, and just making this kind of sick, kind of making this reality show. Even though I think it shouldn't have had more horror elements to it, that they were kind of alluding to, I think the show was pretty solid. Definitely not one of the best like Disney Plus shows. That would definitely go to either Loki or Hawkeye, but it's still like probably my favorite, but it's not the best. Like I said, just for the relatability. Anyway, back to No Way Home. Another surprise cameo was Daredevil. Nobody. I love how everyone in my theater just went nuts when Daredevil showed up. I was like, yeah, Daredevil, so cool. Like And he caught the brick.
Oh yeah, the blind guy. Yeah, he seemed
Yeah,
cool.
no, when I saw that, I found that really, really funny really quickly because I didn't know who it was until after the first time I saw it, and I was like, it all
I
just clicked. I was like,
I
oh my God, it's Daredevil.
I watched the Netflix Daredevil. As soon as I saw it, so I'm like, yep, that's Daredevil. No, as soon as I saw the cane put down, I'm like, yep, it's him.
Well, no, I didn't know it was him till like literally right as I went home, and I went, oh my God, it's him.
I'm like,
Why am I this stupid?
yeah.
Just use your eyes, guys, like he did. Oh, wait a second.
Saying a few things though, I honestly have to say it, and I don't know why, but Electro was really, really different in this movie,
He
and it
was
kind of give it like it wasn't a bad one. That's how I'm gonna put it. It wasn't the bad. It was like a good negative. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like
Yeah,
it was the little things, like the fact
Electro
that
definitely. I will say that Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Electro was done dirty. I think he was really done dirty, and in this one they fixed him, and I'm so grateful for that. They
that's what
actually
I'm
made him. They
that's what
actually
I'm
made
kind of
him.
actually at is that the fact that his electricity isn't what it was before is what ticks me off only because that was the first time I've ever seen Electro, period. So in my brain, because I've seen Electro only that way, it's like,
Yeah, in the
oh
blue.
crap. He's blue, not yellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of
I mean,
threw me off completely.
I personally prefer when Electro is all electricity and not just a guy. But but classic is classic, and you know,
Oh
but
no, I give it to them for the classic suit. That was fucking cool.
yeah, but yeah, because it was always like in the comics, like it was always Yellow Lightning, but the blue was came from the Ultimate Comics. But yeah, I really think Electro was definitely like if I ranked all the villains from like best to worst, it would be Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, then Sandman, and then Lizard.
agreed.
I agree with you with Sandman and Lizard, but I want to say Doc Ock and Electro are kind of on the same level for me. They're like both in
Okay.
second.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
For
I can.
me, it just seems
I,
right.
I understand that because I'm really bad with rankings.
Well, no,
I always have ties when I do rankings and stuff. I get it.
like for me, I don't know why. Just Electro connected with me when I saw the movie, and then just for the factor that Doc Ock was in this one and he connected with me when I was little, I was like, yeah, I know this man's pain.
Yeah, and the same thing when it comes to Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin with Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock. Like he came back like he never left. He
Oh
like
yeah,
went right back in. Like even though the arms aren't puppets anymore or practical effects, like he came back like he never left. Um, but most of these characters still felt the same from their original movies. Like I don't
it,
feel
the
like
the only con I have that they did with Doc Ock dirty is the fact that with Peter's armor, or I guess the Iron Spider's
with nanotech.
technology, yeah, that it connected with his arms. I feel like when they did that battle, I feel like they did him dirty, and I'm like, you guys are awful. I'm
Yeah,
like, there could have been such a better fight for that, and you played him dirty.
I mean, it wasn't really a fight per se. It was just mainly because it was mainly just Peter trying to save that the woman what's the college MIT. She was
Oh
trying to
Yeah,
yeah,
save that
MIT.
MIT. He was spending most of the time trying to save that MIT worker
it's like
trying to
I don't know.
actually actively fight Doc Ock.
But just to
He
me,
only went to throw hands with Doc Ock once he brought up like because he was thinking he was talking about that other Spider-Man who said he shouldn't have killed his girlfriend, and then Tom took it personal and was like, "What did you just say?" And then he started a fight.
right, and that's what I'm saying. It's just to me, I just feel like as if it's just they did him a little dirty. That's all to me because I wanted more of a fight with Doc Ock. That's more what I'm trying to say. I want
Yeah,
more of a fight, not
yeah, like
this
I said too.
meh.
Like I said too. Like you said, I completely agree with same thing with me with Doc Ock. Like I connected with Doc Ock as a child. Like literally that whole trilogy was my childhood. That whole trilogy. Like I think are like Spider-Man 1 and 2 were probably like the the earliest movies I've seen as like a kid. I like recall remembering like being like really little and watching. Like that's
Yeah,
just how important those movies are to me, and to see these villains come back was very, very heartwarming for me. But now we gotta talk about the biggest, hypest moment of this movie
sure.
that we've been saving to talk about.
Ned's grandma.
Yeah, Ned's grandma. Ned's grandma saves the day.
Please get those. spoilers
No,
out.
so it turns out in this fight against the fatherless five, um, Peter's not alone in defeating these guys. He's got help. Who's helping him? Is it Batman? No. Is it Superman? No. Wonder Woman? Nope. Captain America? He's old and probably living on the moon. No. He's joined by two other Spider-Men. The original, Toby and Andrew are back.
Sure.
Um,
I also saw them in the movie. I can confirm I was there.
yeah, they were in the movie. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was in the back.
I do want to point out one thing with it is they really did not Tom dirty, but they didn't do any of them dirty. Actually, that's what I'm trying to say is they actually did like a really good job.
I have never been so hyped up for a moment when that portal opened and you saw Andrew. Like, holy shit!
Oh yeah.
You know what's kind of funny? So like we saw like the leaks and stuff. Like, oh, the Spider-Men are definitely going to be in this movie. Like they're gonna.
Yeah.
Like but it's still the fact that this still happened is still such an exciting thing, and that this movie is still hard to process. Like this still feels like a fever dream. Like this actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as that portal opened, I was like, holy shit! Like and he jumps in. I'm like, oh. And then Toby comes out, and I was like an emotional wreck.
Yeah, for me personally, like I never watched the other two. Like this is my first Spider-Man. But like it was worth it to see everyone else just get excited and like cheer loudly. I was like, oh, this is nice for everyone else. I'm glad everyone is liking this.
I know, cause I remember. I think we had that. I don't know which video we talked about, because I know I was talking about my Endgame theater
It was
experience. You said something on the lines of like, I wanted. You said you wanted to have that experience at a theater, like
Oh yeah,
So
that was it was either the Halloween kills video or the video that we spent 3 hours recording.
yeah, I think it was that one. But I was
that other
talking
one
about
was
it.
too.
I think you said something along the lines of that you
Yeah, I
wanted
was
to
like, I said
have
I was
that sort of
excited
theater
to have this
experience.
be like my first experience because we were also discussing in game and how the theater update.
Yeah.
So this was like my first big movie experience.
Mhm. Like and I'll and with the Spider-Man, I feel like they didn't like push Tom away. Like I feel like they were great side characters, and they weren't and they didn't take up most of the movie. Like they were introduced at a great time and got enough time to
Yeah.
be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you said, the pacing was great. Like it was worth like the hour to build them up.
Mm-hmm. And I just gotta say a thing too is I absolutely love the banter between the three of them. It was definitely the highlight for me. I loved it.
I enjoyed
It was
it.
everything I wanted from it.
I love
They were just so funny, and they.
My favorite scene was when Ned was like trying to ask for the computer, and all of them were like, "I'm Peter.
Yup.
I'm Peter."
Yup.
Same thing.
I loved that freaking scene. I found that too freaking funny.
That was like,
Peter,
Because it's
what?
just like, Peter, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I'm like,
we
oh
all-
my god, no, not this crap.
last name Parker.
Peter
Yeah, we're
Parker,
all
same
Peter Parker.
thing.
Yes, that's my name. Yeah,
Oh,
that's definitely my
yeah.
See,
favorite scene.
See,
I
there
loved
is-
all the banter between them. Like I said, it was everything I expected it to be, and they delivered on it, and it was just absolutely.
To be honest,
I just loved.
I wish the only con I have with it is that I wish they had more. They didn't have enough scenes together.
I would honestly kill for just a Spider-Verse movie, and they are the three main characters, just in the whole
yes.
movie, just them bantering.
True. Like no
See,
fights.
what I
Like
would love-
they just have such a great chemistry together.
It's like
They
I
do.
want a movie, but like it's just like, you know what?
And
It's
you realize that,
it's time for us to
and you know
stop
it's genuine
crime
because when
fighting.
Andrew tells them, I love you guys, that was an improvised line. That wasn't in the script. He was being genuine.
Oh,
See, and that's something you can say that's so great about some actors. Because that's when they say, yeah, no, I love you guys as actual people.
Yeah, and with Andrew is he how much he loves this character. How much he loves Spider-Man, and when he was telling I love you guys, he was talking to their versions of Spider-Man as well. I
yeah.
love you guys. Um, but I think now we should just talk about how great Andrew was.
Yeah.
Andrew, in terms of all the Spider-Man, Andrew stole the show. He
Yes.
he stole the show. Like
I
Oh, yeah.
I especially in the fight.
he,
Oh my god.
yeah. I'm just really glad that Andrew is getting because I think I talked about the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I just feel like Andrew was done dirty. I just feel like he wasn't given
Mm-hmm.
enough to really shine as Spider-Man, and in this one he does. He has the opportunity, and he's just fantastic. He steals the show. Um, and of course we have to talk about there's a couple scenes that were kind of emotional for me. First one, I'll just say, I'll just talk about the one. I'll do the second one as the one that everyone will talk about, but the first one would be when Toby's Spider-Man um meets
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock
Yeah.
again.
Oh,
Um,
my God.
That was a
fuck.
nice callback.
As someone who grew up on this movie, this was real heartwarming for me just to see these two again.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really heartwarming seeing Toby again because, like, with Toby, like, he was like the Spider-Man of not of like our generation. Like, you don't have to like, you don't even have to like Spider-Man or like, but when you're in our generation and our age range, when you thought of Spider-Man when you were like a kid and stuff, it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so and you just thought you'd never see him again, and he came back,
And you
and
just cry.
and but what really gets to me and what kind of like breaks my heart is that Toby's getting old,
Yeah.
Yes.
He's way older than
and
he appears.
Yes.
and that's kind of heartbreaking because you never thought you'd see him again. That version of Spider-Man became sort of like this timeless sort of like thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, seeing him again like back, and you see that he's older now, and not only is showing that not only is he getting old, it means we're getting old too. And that's kind of
Which
the
hurts
same
to
kind
hear.
of, but just that whole exchange they have and having the original theme playing in the background, just I tear up every time someone posts a clip of it. I just start tearing up. Like it gets to me. Just
I want to point out one scene that I found really funny with the fact of how old he is, which made it kind of funny for me, is he's trying to stretch his back out, and here's just Andrew like, need some help with that? And he goes, could you? Yeah. Thanks, man. I loved that scene. I was just like,
their
it's so
yeah,
heartwarming.
like I said, their banter was just absolutely incredible. Like we definitely need more of it. I hope
Yeah.
when the Blu-ray comes out or whatever that there's deleted scenes with more of their banter. I
Yeah.
just want.
Oh my God.
I was
Yes.
gonna say I hope there's another movie with them, like we were discussing, but like they're just like, I don't want to fight anymore. All of them are just like, I want to give a Spider-Man up, so they just start a podcast with each other.
Like honestly, like when the in the end before they all go home and stuff, and when they hug, I was like, oh yes, like
See, one thing,
this is what we like. This is what we needed.
there's one
You
thing I
just
actually
came.
really, really liked was the fact that even though I can't think of the words right now. God damn it. Even though Toby was hurt, In
Oh,
his,
oh,
like,
oh!
they brought him back to
I was
not
gonna,
being hurt.
I was gonna have a panic attack when he got stabbed. I was like, I swear to God, if they killed him off,
Oh,
I
I knew
probably,
they.
honestly, if they killed him off, I would have walked out. I would have been like, you know what,
I
fuck
would
you.
have. I would have lost my shit. I'll put it there.
No, you're killing the wrong Toby.
No,
What are
he's
you doing?
killing our generation. That's what he's doing. That's what they're doing. Like, come on. But I have to give him credit of it was really cool how they made it so then he had to take the stab wound to be the sacrifice to what Norman did or Goblin did.
Yes.
Huh. Uh, is he glitching out for you too?
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say, can you hear him?
I need to tell him. Hang on.
Nice.
There you are.
Welcome back.
I still hear you. So I was like,
the glitching thing was happening again.
okay, I could still hear you guys, and I was like, okay, so what did I say before I cut off?
We didn't hear a single word you said
Green,
even before it, actually.
Green Goblin.
So what was the last thing you said then?
Something about
For me, it
Green
was the fact
Goblin
that
dying, I think.
Say that again, Matt.
I think Green Goblin dying or whatever. I think.
Oh, okay,
No, it was
okay,
the fact
okay.
that
So I said when Toby Toby saving Tom from killing Green Goblin, it was like it made sense because not only did he fail himself of saving Norman, but it was also doing right by Harry
mhm.
because Harry died saving him in Spider-Man 3. So it was just kind of like this full circle. And plus with Aunt May said something about like Spider-Man doesn't get to choose who lives or dies or something. It was something Aunt May said in Spider-Man 3 or something. It was the scene when Spider-Man tells Aunt May that he killed Sandman. I think it was something along the lines of like, Spider-Man doesn't get to choose or who lives or dies or something like that. So,
Yeah.
it made sense.
Yes.
The only thing is I wish there was actual more interaction between Norman and Toby. That's just my only thing, but I think the Toby and Doc Ock scene was just all I needed.
That's the part that they did right with Doc Ock because Doc Ock kind of really didn't have that much, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And it also just made sense for him to be the first cured villain because he ended up being cured in Spider-Man 2 anyway.
Yeah.
Because he turned good again, and I think he was pulled in the moment he was about to turn good, but of course he got pulled in, so now he's stuck as bad guy. But then he got cured, but and yeah, that's just my whole thing. I just wish him and Norman had some sort of exchange because I know those two have a very deep and personal history.
Yeah.
So
Very deep and very personal, yes.
and obviously we got to talk about probably one of the most emotional scenes in the movie.
I killed your son.
When Green Goblin comes in. Green Goblin comes in after the scene with Tobey and Doc Ock, Doctor Strange. Oh yeah, Doctor Strange is in this movie.
Oh yeah.
I know Doctor Strange got pretty much sidelined, but it's a Spider-Man movie, so what do you expect? Like,
I mean, yeah.
There is
like,
one thing he did say that I found really, really funny was solve this Scooby Doo shit or something. I don't fucking care.
I like how Spider-Man just beat him, just able to defeat him just by using math.
Yup. Because it's geometry.
Yeah.
Geometry, bitch. Okay, so anyway, Green Goblin comes in to get the box, or because the box, so back to when I was talking about like non-spoiler with the spell that everyone forgets Peter Parker Spider-Man is that it became unstable and Doctor Strange had to put in this box to contain it.
Yes.
Because if the spell got out, it would have cracked holes in the multiverse and everyone who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man would start pouring in. And because there's infinite universes, that means infinite number of people would be crawling in. And that's not good.
Yes.
So Green Goblin comes in. Of course, he's trying to get the box, and he throws unbeknownst to the heroes that he put a pumpkin bomb in the box, and of course, it's a bomb, big explosion, and the whatever the construction site just goes down, and MJ, Zendaya falls, and Tom of course leaps in and tries to save her, but Green Goblin catches him, but Andrew is the one to get her. And if you know the Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Remind me of that.
one of the biggest tragedies of Andrew's Spider-Man is that he couldn't save Gwen. He, it was the same thing. She fell. He tried to catch her. He webbed
The
her,
web didn't
and it
even.
whiplash and just it killed her instantly. And
So, yeah.
you hear it, and you hear
Yeah.
it when the Spider-Man first meet. He's talking about I lost Gwen. She was my MJ. I couldn't save her.
At least
And,
Gwen and Toby both have back problems. I'm glad they're both on the same boat with that.
See, I do want to point out one thing though is I like how with Tobey Maguire he said, "Oh, so you're Mary Jane," and here's just the other MJ being like, "No, my name's Michelle Jones." I looked at that and went, "What did you say?"
that was
I'm
always that Zendaya's MJ was Michelle Jones. I think that was
I
in Homecoming.
that I actually didn't know.
Trust me. I think it's weird too. Just trust me. I know it's weird.
It
No,
kinda
but
makes
I didn't know
sense.
that till this movie.
Yeah,
And
that's
I've
fine.
seen it all. And I'm like, that puts a humongous spectrum on this whole thing. What the hell?
It's a multiverse.
Like, I understood that it may have been different, but I'm like, maybe they just kept that as the same of just, it's just Mary Jane. Because it's
Yeah.
Spider-Man, That's what I just thought. Not Michelle Jones. That's why I was
Yeah.
like,
So
that's
But
interesting.
Dale, you
Yeah,
have to
so
remember,
pretty
this
much-
is Black MJ.
so pretty much Andrew catches her, and Andrew catches her, and he catches her pretty smoothly too. Like you tell that he wanted to
Oh,
redeem himself, and the look on
that
his
I was.
face, that's tear, crying,
yeah.
fuck.
That was one of the scenes I
Yeah.
went back to when I was just like, fuck. And then I cried.
Just him just saying, and you just hear the shakiness in his voice, just saying, "Are you okay?" And then she's
Oh,
like, and then she asks him if he's okay. Oh no.
it hurts. It hurts.
I remember when I saw it with Dale, someone was like, "You fucking did it! Fuck yeah!" And I was like, "Yes." He redeemed himself.
Like I said, I can't give enough praise to Andrew. We should also give him a big shout out just for keeping this whole thing a secret and kept denying it every time beforehand.
I saw memes.
Yeah,
That he
I
wasn't
found that funny.
I saw
He-
a
that he
video of him in an interview where he kept denying it, and his lady was just like, "Do this if you're not in it." And a comment was like, she asked him to stop breathing if he was in it, and then the comment was like, "Andrew dies from like a breath," and I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah, and I know, and I hope that we get to see more, not only of all the other Spider-Man, but I specifically want more of Andrew. I think he put so much dedication to this character that he has so much love for this character that he puts just so much effort and dedication
Yeah.
to it. And I think
He-
he deserved. Not only did he deserve better for the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but he needs to be in more.
You could tell, in this movie, especially with that scene with him and Toby, when Toby was like, "No, dude, you're amazing." It's like, and he said he needed to hear that. That was heartwarming. But you can tell
Yeah.
Andrew was just, he wanted to probably be Spider-Man his whole life, and he got it. And then he had shitty directors and everything. So now that he has this movie,
Yeah.
it's like a redemption arc for him. Or I guess a redemption.
You're
arc.
right.
Yeah.
All I
Yeah,
have to say is, all I
So
have to say is, every time I heard him say "amazing," all I could think of in my head was just "but because that was just a pun for me. Just
oh,
hearing him say
I'm
"amazing."
sure they meant that though. They definitely meant that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like man, like, and I know I still, although I still will critique what they did to his character, Andrew is still was fantastic in this movie, and he is a fantastic Spider-Man. I
Yeah.
just think he just was put in a bad movie, in
He's
a
a bad
bad
director for me.
director, bad movie, bad script, whatever. Um, so yeah, now we'll talk about. So now you're probably wondering, so did the good guys win this movie? Um, yeah, and it's a very
No,
emotional
everyone died. What do you
one
mean?
too.
No, what do you
Um,
mean? Everyone died at the end.
yeah, everyone died.
And everyone died.
So all the villains pretty much got cured, and now of course, because Green Goblin's pumpkin bomb, the people are coming in now, and they have to stop it before it cracks through. So Peter tells them, let's make a new spell then, make everyone forget who Peter Parker is. And Doctor Strange's like, what? Like, and it means there will be no memory of you whatsoever or anything. And he's like, no, just do it. And he does it. And that final goodbye, for not only just with Toby and Andrew, but with MJ and Ned, like that was really emotional.
Yeah.
Just him just
If
being, I'll come back for you. Like,
Cause like if you think about it, that like him with MJ, Ned, even Happy, and like probably a few others. Those are the only people he has left, and now he has like no
plus,
one.
yeah, and this is what Spider-Man is. It's always been about sacrificing for the greater good. So that's why I'm saying like he became that Spider-Man. Like this, he made the ultimate sacrifice of having the entire world forget who he is. Not just
Yeah.
as Spider-Man, but as a person.
Yeah.
Like he never existed.
See, what hurts me more about it is at the end of the movie, which really made me feel like the movie went to total, I wouldn't say crap, but it made me feel really awful at the end of how he didn't go back for MJ or Ned.
Well, if you think, well, you know what? Like he knew he wanted to, but he knew it was for the best because if he
Yeah.
told them everything, he would put them in danger. And that's
Yes.
another thing
Yeah,
about Spider-Man is that with his identity is I can't let it's always been I can't let people know my identity because the people who my enemies will come after the people I care about. So
Yeah.
I can't have you know my identity. So that's why it was so heartbreaking because he wants to tell them, but he knows he can't because he would put them in more danger and that they're
Yeah.
pretty much better off without him. And that's
he
a
only
really
did it in,
hard thing to think about.
he did it in despite of the fact of as much as I love you guys, I'm doing it for your own good,
Yeah.
which hurt me because I'm just like, no, you could just tell them that I want to be your friend again. That's
Yeah.
all you had to do, man. You didn't even do that.
When then now that his aunt's gone and everything, like he's alone. Like he's got nowhere. And probably because no one knows who he is. He probably obviously because of the ending, we'll talk about in a bit. Like he has no access to the Stark tech anymore because why Stark Industries is just gonna give this random kid some
Yeah.
some like weapon. But
Right.
Who's
but yeah,
Peter?
that coffee shop scene really was really like gut wrenching for me in terms of
Yeah.
emotion.
I
You could tell in that like in that those held back tears that he just wanted to crack and say something, but he knew like I can't. Like they're better off.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I saw like someone say like this is kind of off topic with that, but like I saw someone say who else thought Ned and MJ were together in that scene.
I did. I did too. I did too.
I did too as well. Like
Wait,
I was like as soon as Ned walked in and they both smiled at each other, I was like, no, Ned, you fat fuck, don't do this.
Yeah, yeah, like that whole last act was just a very emotional roller
Yeah. Oh,
coaster.
yeah.
It
I can't
was,
even. I can't even. The whole movie was, but like that last fucking half was just God.
I don't know, and especially, and it was kind of just sad seeing Toby and Andrew leave. Like, you guys just came back. Why are you leaving again?
At
You
least
guys
the
just came back.
at least it was cool to see them like say goodbye with each other as well as soon
Yeah,
as they went in the
yeah.
credits.
I know. It's like I loved all three, but I specifically, like in specific to that, it was Toby and Andrew. Just they were like, no, all three of them felt like brothers, but it was kind of the bond
Oh
between
yeah, yeah.
the older and the middle brother. Like it was kind of like I them just with Toby Toby's like arm on his shoulder, just and them just smiling like, oh, that's so nice.
I think I saw
Like
somewhere on Twitter like I think Andrew might have said it. Don't take this with a grain of salt because I don't remember specifically because my memory's trash. But if I remember correctly, I think Andrew himself said like the reason why he wanted to save MJ so much was because he didn't want his brother, meaning Tom, to go through what he did, and everyone was just in the comments
yeah.
like, "Fuck, fuck, damn."
I feel like with this movie is the more like deeper you go into it, the sadder it gets when you
Yes,
with these
very.
realizations. That just the
Yeah.
deeper you go, the more sadder it gets. Because I remember I saw one video. It's like because everyone forgot Peter Parker is. He probably didn't attend Aunt May's funeral because they
Oh,
didn't know who he was.
don't even say that, please. Don't say that.
I'm
Fuck
sorry.
you. Fuck off.
It's
Please
just
leave.
like but now we gotta talk about so the ending.
Yes.
Peter is moving into an apartment.
Oh my god.
He's all alone.
I hope I remember it, but go on. I hope I remember this.
Um, he's just moving in. Um, and what really just made my eyes widen is, um, there's some we see like the Lego Emperor Palpatine, which you don't know in Homecoming. The whole thing with Peter and Ned was, they were gonna build a Lego Death Star, and so that just seeing that minifigure and Peter still having it was just, oh, stop,
It
please.
hurts.
But the camera pans to a sewing machine. I think you guys know where this is going. And
Yes.
you see Peter checking his phone, seeing local crimes, and opening the window. He leaps out, and he's got a new suit.
Classic suit.
My eyes just widened because I'm like, this is the Spider-Man suit I wanted to see on the big screen. This
And then
is
you see it and you're like, oh.
like if I was like, holy shit! Like this is honestly, if we knew about this suit beforehand, if during our tier list video, it would have been top S tier immediately. Like
What do you mean top S tier? It would have been SS tier.
yes, SS like like a set like a, somehow above God tier. Like
In
it is
fact,
just
I'm becoming a
a
snake.
it is literally perfection. I like that the blue is shiny and like glossy, and I like the logos look better and the webbing's better. That was a big critique I had, if you guys remember. That was my big critique. I thought the webbing was too thin, but the
Yeah.
webbing was just right. The eyes, like it was just it's Spider Man. It's literally perfect. And I hope I swear to God they need to keep it. Just keep it for one. Just keep it. Don't stop changing the suit every movie. Please just keep this
If
suit
they
for
definitely
like
make
ever.
another movie with Tom, I guarantee you the suit he used at the end of this movie will be used in the next movie at the very least.
I don't even know if there will be a second movie. It looks like there will be, but I highly doubt
I
it.
heard from what I heard, there are rumors that there's gonna be like a new trilogy with that's him in college. That's just gonna be pretty much a back to basics Spider-Man approach. Um,
Oh, so you're saying like
these are just
where
rumors for now. I'm not this isn't like confirmation or anything.
Yeah.
But But this movie definitely feels like either the ending of like a series or like the ending of a chapter and starting a new one. It's fine either or. The ending,
Yeah,
when you look at it.
yeah.
So it's like
This could
you
easily
can
look.
definitely this could definitely be the end, but this can also lead the way to a new like sort of chapter for Pete for this character.
Yeah,
See, here's how I also look at it, and this is where things could really change. Is the fact of the end credit scene with Venom, specifically Tom Hardy
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah, spoilers for Venom 2, but Venom was a part of this Doctor Strange spell. They that was the mid credit scene of
Oh
Venom.
yeah.
That was
oh yeah.
that he was trapped in the he got put in the multiverse as well. And
Why I don't know.
it's because
That's
well they said let me let me try to explain it. So in the post credit scene of Venom 2, Venom is explaining to Eddie that the symbiotes have this sort of hive mind and they have millions of years of knowledge. And he has the knowledge of all the symbiotes across the multiverse. So that's why immediately when he entered the MCU and he saw the TV and he saw Spider-Man, he immediately recognized him.
Oh, so
Like he immediately.
he recognized him from
So,
like Toby's Venom.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes so much sense. That's
that
kind of
does
what I
actually make a
figured.
lot of sense.
So that's why and what's kind of crazy is that like what I hear is that they're trying to do Venom versus Spider-Man, but like now it's like, what's which Spider-Man are we talking about? Now we have the multiverse. Which Spider-Man are we talking about now?
Could it
Talking about
be?
Tom?
Could it
Are
be?
we talking about Andrew? Like
Is it Miles Morales?
honestly,
My
with like how
God.
like honestly like we don't know which universe Morbius is in that which will probably be solved when the movie comes out in like 5 years. Um,
Yeah.
we'll probably know when what universe it's in. Um, but I'd honestly be fine with if we had two separate Venom, like sort of live action Venoms going at the same time.
Yeah.
Like we'll have Tom Hardy, and we'll get like the MCU version. Like have Tom Hardy's Venom fight Andrew, and
You
then we'll
know.
have like
You know
the
what would be.
MCU version.
You know what would be so cool to have Topher Grace come back as Venom.
I heard some like obviously ironic rumors of him coming back.
I
And
hope he
honestly, if
does.
he did came back, I think that would be pretty. I find it pretty hilarious and probably pretty amazing at the same time.
Yes, because I love Topher Grace. I grew up with him from that 70s show.
Yeah, and you know what's weird is that he was another one that I think he got done dirty too. Because when he was talking about like doing Venom for everything, like you can tell that he actually like liked Venom,
Oh yeah.
and he clearly did not like the direction they were going with
Oh yeah.
for the character. So I think they should do what they did for Andrew and Electro and such, and probably just give him another chance to actually really shine as the character.
Oh yeah, if they
I
bring
think
back
that
the original actors from all the other movies, for sure. Like if they bring back another Venom, they're going to bring back Topher Grace for sure. In my honest opinion.
especially and I did hear that apparently Venom 3 will be about the multiverse, so anything is literally possible at
Oh
this point.
yeah, for sure.
Now that we have the multiverse, like literally anything's possible now.
Yeah, and like if Tom does get another movie, like they can bring back Venom, and now that he's in the apartment, I think that sets up
I
another character from a Toby film, or from the Toby trilogy, and that's who was the guy who asked for the rents. Do you know who I'm talking
Mr.
about?
Dickovich,
Yes. Sorry, I
Rent,
forgot
yeah.
his name. I I I would not be surprised if he was in the next Tom movie. Even though it'd be weird, but like it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm just glad that this Spider-Man's going back to basics.
Yeah.
Like, him struggling to, he's living he's not living in a great apartment, let's be real here.
Yeah, he's
I
He's
got
mean,
like
look at the
He's living
And
in
you
a
also have to remember, look
2BX
at
apartment.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Look at the
Yeah,
apartment he was in.
yeah. He
Yeah,
was in a shitty apartment too.
You're right.
yeah, which is
That
like,
just but that's the point.
which is
That's the point. That's like the best one he could afford
yeah, which is like
because he's always had money problems.
yeah, which is like why I said like don't be surprised if we see the fucking guy from Tobey's films. I forgot his name again. Whoopsie.
Yeah, and I like that. And like we see him struggling again, make his own suit again, and we also see him doing like more like sort of low tier sort of crimes.
Yeah,
He's not.
and
I feel
that's
like with the MCU Spider-Man, he's only come out for like big villains. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like we don't see him doing like with like Toby, like back to Toby. Like we see there's scenes of him going on patrols and stuff, and him leaving like the scene to go on patrols and stuff, like doing like the small crimes.
yeah,
Because Spider-Man. That's also another point of Spider-Man. He always looks out for the little guy, and will like he will help the Avengers like defeat this like cosmic threat, like high stakes threat. But at the end of the day, he'll just go back to stopping like a mugging or something
yeah.
because he cares about his city and he cares about
Eh,
the little guy.
Imagine being Laba and then you just meet Spider Man after he beats up Thanos. Like, God.
Yeah. Um. And then I think so. I think we could just talk about the Multiverse of Madness trailer in a bit because even though it's technically like should I say it was the post credit scene for No Way Home, but I know it's kind of like why you want to talk about the trailer, but it's like that was the post credit scene, and I think we should because it's part of the No Way Home movie, and Multiverse of Madness does like sort of connect with No Way Home. I think we should talk about it. So, like,
Yeah.
I know, like, is there any thoughts you have on the trailer specifically, or I thought it was a
Um.
pretty good trailer. I mean, I know people were like
Honestly,
upset, like,
that's
why
the
did we
only
get a
thing I can
trailer
think
for the
of.
post credit scene? But I'm like, oh, it's literally Multiverse of Madness. This is said to be an Avengers level movie. Like, I don't know. I'm honestly really looking forward to the movie. I just like that there's so much like with No Way Home. There was a lot of mystery surrounding this movie. The same thing with this movie. Like we don't know what's gonna happen in Multiverse of Madness, but we
Hmm.
know shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Um, like I can't wait to see more of Scarlet Witch, more of Doctor Strange, some of the other characters from like the first Doctor Strange movie.
There's
Um,
more of all of it.
mhm. I hope we get a lot of cameos from different like characters in different universes.
True.
Um, I know, um, I know people are really excited to see the evil Doctor Strange. That people think it's the same Doctor Strange from What If, but it's not because that one's trapped in this time dimension, trying to guarding it's complicated for people who don't know, but there's like this sort of um in order to defeat this like super amped up Ultron with all the Infinity Stones, um the Watcher recruits like a bunch of heroes from the multiverse, and they the only way they had to defeat him was put him in Killmonger, who of course they recruited, but of course Killmonger being Killmonger, he's a dick, and um they have to contain him in this sort of mirror dimension thing, and Supreme Strange has to guard it. Um, but yeah, so I know people are like, oh, I can't wait to see the evil Doctor Strange live action. Like, not only is that version of Doctor Strange good, but there's no way for him to be in this movie. But I it's gonna be interesting. I'll say for these because I think the possibilities of what could happen are pretty much endless, and I like that. It just makes it more exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause like you said, anything can be done at this point, honestly.
So yeah, I think we will wrap up with the ratings. This is probably gonna be the easiest rating
Yeah.
ever. I'm gonna give it a probably. I'll give this. I'm definitely gonna give this like. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Um, I'll probably put like 100 out of 10.
Oh my god.
100 out of 10, A plus, whatever. S tier Spider-Man movie. Whatever you want to, however you want to rank it. Um, this is prob Spider-Man 2, Spider-Verse, and No Way Home are probably number one Spider-Man movies for me. Just in that tie. Just those three are just the mythical tier Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Um, for sure. So that's awesome. I'm not gonna just jump into this. Is this the best Spider-Man movie ever? I'm just gonna say it. That it's just tied for best with Spider-Man 2 and Into the Spider-Verse.
That's a video for a different day. I might do a cheers for that. You know.
I think we can do that once you watch Homecoming and
Yeah.
the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I will have to. Yeah.
Then we could do that.
Yeah.
Because I think you saw Into the Spider-Verse. I think we watched it at my house. I recall.
Did I?
I think you only watched like the first like few minutes of it and then you like left.
I think I did. Oh yeah, I think I remember because like I was dying from your dog, so I had to leave.
Yeah. You were watching it and then you're like, I have to leave, and then you came back later and we were
So I
watching
literally had to
a
go
different
back to my house for a breather, and then I came back towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then we started another movie.
Which I remember that
yeah,
it
how
was
do you
Spy
wanna
Kids.
how do you wanna rank this movie?
Easy 10 out of 10. What the fuck? What the hell do you mean? It, honest to God, got me on edge. Even just seeing it the second time made me really sad, and
Yeah.
it hurt like hell.
And
I loved it.
this movie is pretty much fan service, nostalgia, emotion, action. Like it's literally everything,
Yeah.
and they did it right.
Like I would say that this and the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse is probably tied easy.
Yeah,
Those two are tied.
yeah, and they're pretty much the same concept anyway. So of course they're tied. It's just the difference is one is
One's
about
fan
Miles, the other
service
one's
done
about
right.
Tom Holland.
yeah.
This was fan service done right.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that like even if you're like not familiar with the other movies, that you can still watch this movie and have a good time.
Oh yeah.
Not be like super confused or anything. Like, oh, what's? Because I know there's a lot of fan service and callbacks and such that that might throw people off or think that there's too much of it. But you know, that's with like nostalgia and stuff. That's sort of the point. Like, it's pretty much a cultivation of nearly 20 years of Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Like coming.
There's literally like a 20-year build up.
But yeah, like this movie was absolutely incredible, and it's still like I've never had such a hard time processing a movie, like like it's because like even though like I said, we saw the leaks, we saw all like the leaks and all this crap, and then we had like a high chance that they were gonna be in it, like this in terms of like the Spider-Man, but like it's still just seeing it happen.
Yeah.
Like it's still just a fever dream sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like
we
we had.
I saw on Twitter, like, I think it was a day or two. I told you about this, but like I actually told both of you guys. Like I told you, Jake, like probably the night before I saw it, and I told Dale, like just a few hours before we went to see it. But like I saw on Twitter, I was like, "Fuck, I saw it." But then during the whole movie, I was like, "Are they actually gonna be in this?" Because like it's an hour in.
You know, I actually had the exact thing. I had the exact opposite thing. Like what with you is when I was gonna go see it like the day or so before, they were talking about how there was only one Spider-Man, and I got like super nervous. I was like,
yeah.
"Fuck!" I was
They're not
like,
gonna be in it.
because I was like, because I didn't want to hype my. Like I will be honest, this movie had a lot of expectations and hype going out, and like I think of like one thing, like I think I talked about in the Halloween Kills videos, like if just one thing was slightly off, that like I think it's just gonna get bombed. But
Yeah.
this movie lived up to the expectations, and it probably over delivered in that. Exceeded the expectations.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Um, so yeah, like this movie was absolutely incredible. Like it's like something like, and it's weird for this like movie too. Is like, I can't wait to watch this again. I can't wait to see this again.
Yeah.
Like I've never had that sort of feeling with a movie. Like I want to watch this again. Like it was absolutely incredible. Like I think they
Yeah. Like,
they pulled it off.
this might be
You could
the
say it's amazing.
shut the fuck up.
Singer. Like, um, yeah,
I think this might be like the first movie I buy digitally or like on Blu-ray just to watch it again. 'Cause I
yeah.
don't
Oh,
usually do that.
until the Steelbook came out, and I as soon as I saw that they announced the Steelbook, I bought it. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
you, because I got I just got my first Steelbook recently, and I saw when they did the No Way Home, like I gotta get a No Way Home one after that, because like I think Steelbooks are cool. So I was like, yeah, I have to get one. I have to get it on Blu-ray or something.
Yeah.
I'm like I have to, because I already have Homecoming and Far From Home, so I was like, I might as well
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just to have the trilogy physically.
For sure.
But
This is definitely a movie that's worth to have of your own in like in your own possession.
yeah, and even though it's not like a super long movie. I think it's about like 2 hours and a half. Like you don't feel the 2 hours and a half.
Oh yeah.
I feel like a good example. Is like It Chapter 2 when it was like 3 hours long, and you felt that 3 hours.
To be honest,
You
I
could just
didn't
This
kept
mind
going.
it.
movie felt like
It just
it's like
kept
if it felt
going. But this one, like the pacing was like it didn't feel like 2 hours
Yeah.
because you were
it's
just
like an
so
hour and a half at most to me.
yeah. It just like, but yeah,
To me,
like
the end credits in the end trailer for whatever it was, Venom, that felt
Multiverse
longer.
of Madness.
Yeah, that felt longer than the actual movie to me.
Yeah,
If you remember
But see,
Dale,
that's fair though.
because if you remember Dale,
yeah.
my parents.
I remember being in the theater, like just sitting there, because I'm a Marvel fan. Of course, I'm gonna sit through the credits. I'm just gonna be like, I was like sitting there, like, how long are these fucking credits?
Yeah.
And no, I remember because for Matt specifically, it was like how long are we going to take to get to go see this at the end? Because I remember it was like the slowest amount of time at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the slowest end credits
It's
scene
like
I've ever seen.
they put it at
I
like
was like,
they put it
can
at
we just show me this? And I also was like, I remember when like sometimes it would cut off the black and you'd be like, finally, it's
oh
over,
thank
and then just
God.
more texting.
Now here's
God.
the credits for Endgame. Like why?
Yeah, I mean, like I cannot think, like this movie definitely made me feel like a kid again, like for someone, like, just seeing Toby again, seeing Andrew, like because those three Spider-Man were like part of my childhood, my teenage years, my adult year, now my adult years, like, and then just all coming together.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a great thing, and
It's just a
I hope
kid's dream come true.
it's still like it said, it's still something just so hard to process. Like this happened, like, and when I see them, every time I see the clip of them swinging together, like it's
Mm,
Oh
like
yeah.
this isn't real. Like
That
this
scene where they land on the Statue of Liberty with like Captain America's shield was definitely like
yeah.
the picture
I thought that was
moment.
so cool.
The picture moment of the entire movie was that one scene.
And they all landed in like they pretty much all landed. Well, they landed in the order that they came out in. So Toby landed first, then Andrew, then Tom, right in
Yeah.
the center. Like so good. And then of course
And then after
Of course,
that, the shot of the enemies and them just going towards the enemies. That was also a fantastic shot. That
we were
entire
right.
fight
We
scene.
called it out. Though.
Yeah.
We did call that.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's kind of their
I
fault
was like,
though.
because we were talking about when we did the trailer discussion. I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah. So Sony Brazil messed up.
Yeah.
They showed Lizard getting punched by thin air,
Of course it was Brazil.
Oh my god.
and so
I was gonna say,
so
my
like,
buddy was talking about
like
that.
we were all like, yep, that's definitely one of the Spider-Men if
God.
they're trying to cover it.
God damn it, Brazil! 7-1.
You know, one of my buddies showed me that like immediately after the movie because I asked him specifically if there's any like errors or missed things or whatever, do not show me it because it's just gonna ruin the movie just a tad for me.
Yeah.
I didn't want this ever to be ruined. And he said, yeah, no, that was the thing that happened in the movie. And I'm just like, wow, they really
I
fucked up
remember
then.
seeing on when Andrew and Toby were talking on the set with the Statue of Liberty and the construction, and
Oh, yeah.
you saw like
I
Andrew
remember that
doing
video.
sitting down with his arm on the bar. I was like, that's the leak. That's the leak video.
Like I never saw Andrew's movie, so it's like, is that like a screenshot or a video going around of him when he was recording his movies? But no,
Oh,
it's just
well, yep, that's
it's just straight.
It was
up,
just that was just a funny thing is like every time like there was like a moment, I was like, oh yeah, that was leaked. That photo was yep. I remember that was
Yep.
leaked.
and then Toby Maguire, that fucking guy from Instagram who saw Toby Maguire, and he was like, "Are you in the movie?" And Toby Maguire was like, "Yeah."
And he just went. That's the funniest thing about like beforehand
yeah.
with this movie is that everyone kept bothering Andrew, but nobody was bothering Toby about it.
Yeah.
Andrew.
It's
I
just
found
so
that just
someone
hilarious.
just asked him one time and he just winked, and then you have everyone just bombarding Andrew with, "Are you in the movie? Stop lying!"
Well, but it makes so much sense because Toby just hates all of media forever now. But like Andrew, I think
You know what?
is
I
scared
respect
of
him for
Andrew.
that. I
Yeah, I
respect
was gonna say.
No, I respect because fucking paparazzi is so fucking annoying. I see videos every day on Instagram that's just like, oh, it's another new fucking paparazzi video from Toby.
I respect that for him.
Yeah, because the paparazzis were all over him and he's trying to frickin' drive. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I know everyone makes fun of that, but they were literally flashing lights when he's trying to drive. Like, you're literally gonna cause
something
an
that
accident.
bothered me from like one of the paparazzi people. Was
Like,
we're
I
trying to
understand.
get
Like,
it out of the
he's
way.
like, I understand if it's at like the red. Like, he's like, oh, I understand if it's at like the red carpet, or you know, saying if like, you see me out and about or something. But I'm fucking driving.
I wouldn't. I don't think it's right when you're out and about either, because you're trying to be
Oh
private.
yeah, no. If
Yeah,
you're
but it's like
living your
you're
life,
driving though. Is more what
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go at. Is just you're driving. Like, what the
Mhm.
fuck?
yeah.
Like, yeah, I respect him for that. Like, he
If-
wasn't at with the car thing. He was totally in the right in that situation. Like, they should not.
I think
They had no right to be flashing lights while he's trying to drive.
I don't think
No.
he handled it well enough. I think he should have ran them
Hell, I
over.
don't know why paparazzis need the flashing lights. I find that so stupid.
And like, yeah, but like I said, like it's just funny that everyone just kept bothering Andrew about it, but Toby just gives like Toby just winked like, yeah, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. We'll see. And you just have everyone just harassing Andrew. I can't
Right.
If you want me
Well-
movie, maybe consider getting religion and pray. Pray for it to happen.
we'll have to do this. Yeah. So yeah, Spider-Man: No Way Home. I just with one more. I know.
Oh wait a second. I didn't give my
I
rating.
know I want to like end things, but like I just want to have like one more just sort of question is that I just forgot to like when we were doing like the final. Was this movie for just in your own opinion? Was this movie of the year for 2021? We're recording in the new year.
Absolutely.
What other movie would be that? Like, let me ask you
Because this
that.
was
What other movie would stand a chance to like thrown over Spider-Man: No Way Home for movie of the year? Like,
you know
general.
what
I don't think that is
It
any
was
other
just because
movie.
I know I definitely think this was movie of the year. Even and there was in terms of like for me, there was a lot of movies that I was interested that came out in 2021, like Godzilla versus Kong, Halloween Kills, and so on. Um,
Halloween Kills is definitely
but
my second favorite. I definitely enjoyed that. I mean, that doesn't mean
but
much though, because I've only seen like 3
but with
movies.
like but No Way Home just was like it's definitely a movie of the year,
It's
and I I think it should get some Oscars.
yeah.
I'm
It's like
I
I'm pretty sure
I don't know
compared
about Best
to
Picture because I know they're kind
other
of very
movies,
snobby about Best Picture for like superheroes. But I definitely, like I said, I think Willem Dafoe should get a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and Tom Holland should get one for Best Actor.
yeah,
I think if not, if not Willem Dafoe, then Andrew.
yes.
Yeah,
That he should just get an Oscar just for lying for
One of
the whole
those
time.
one of those three should definitely get an award for sure.
So I think that will
and then
be
see,
said.
here's where I like is in 1 month, Tom isn't doing a Spider-Man movie, which made me really happy right away, but he's doing Uncharted, which made me really interested, actually.
I had this conversation with Matt in private. I was like, most of the when with No Way Home, most of the trailers for like movies that are coming out this year just look pretty bad for me.
Yeah.
Like, what did you guys think about the ambulance? Did you guys see the ambulance trailer?
The what
When
trailer?
you the trailer with the ambulance,
No,
Jake Gyllenhaal was like an ambulance.
I got no idea
I
what you're talking about. That's how bad this year was for me.
Okay,
I
but
don't even
there
know.
was a trailer for this like action movie where um I don't know. I don't know what it's even about. Like, I'm just so lost. But the only thing I know is it's like Jake Gyllenhaal and they sort of just hijack an ambulance or something. Like, and then there's that Channing Tatum movie with the dog, and it's just called Dog.
It's just called
What the
Dog.
fuck?
Yeah, it's just called Dog.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Like most of them, like I said, I think just most of the movies are, like the only movies I'm looking forward to this year that I can think of on the top of my head is Halloween Ends, Into the Spider-Verse, Part Two, and Multiverse of Madness, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I know Scream Five's when as we're recording this, Scream Five is coming out is out now. I think Scream Five's out now.
I think so.
Um, I think so. I think it,
I think it's coming out tomorrow, actually.
um Yeah, I think it's coming out this week or something. But that one, I wasn't really as excited because, like I said to Matt in private, like the Scream sequels aren't good.
I mean,
First, they're not like
I'm
great.
down.
They're just average.
Like honestly, if anyone is bored, I'm just down to see it anyways, regardless. Like, I'm bored nowadays,
Yeah,
so I'm down for seeing it in general.
I just feel like the movie, like the sequels, they just stick with the same formula.
Yeah.
And it's just always like like I know like Ghostface movie like it's always that Ghostface is one of the killers in the main cast. It's always a big twist, and they always die, and blah 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 blah. Blah. But and and it always, even though they hyped up with the trailer, it's like, oh, the killer connects to the original. Like I was like, oh, all the original, like all the new characters in the movie connect to the original killers, and like I think that's a neat idea. But like I feel like with the Ghostface killer, they always connect back to either Sydney or one of the other
Or
characters.
something.
Yeah.
See,
It's always they always had a connection. Like it's not like something new.
here's for me, and I'm gonna say this. I was interested in the Scream movie until, for some odd reasoning, YouTube was just like, "Hey, you know how everything is net like for some reasoning I don't know why in my feed, but when it comes to ads, it gives me like Spanish ads." And I see this Spanish ad, and I'm like, "You're making me less interested." And it kept showing it to me almost every day, and I'm just like, "Okay, you made me not interested in this movie." Thanks, Nintendo.
I know I had some friends who were like, "Wow, this trailer was so bad." I'm like, "It's a Scream sequel. What are you gonna expect? You're not expecting
Right.
some sort of high art here."
What are you gonna fucking
Well, see, I thought
scream?
it looked really good, but then that, like I said, that's
No, I
when
thought, I thought it looked, I mean, I think I'm not. I thought it looked decent. I didn't. I honestly didn't. Like, I'll just be completely honest. I didn't think they should have done a Scream 5 because the creator passed away, Wes Craven.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, because he was in charge of the Scream movies. So he went.
Oh,
I just didn't want
how recent did he die?
I don't know how he died, but Wes Craven was. When it comes to horror, he's like one of the top. Like with like he's like up there with like John Carpenter in terms of like
who?
John Carpenter.
Oh, I
You
don't
don't know
know.
John?
Halloween?
No, I didn't hear the
The
question. I
Thing?
know who it is. I just didn't hear the question.
Damn,
Oh,
I was gonna fucking kill you if you didn't know who John Carpenter was. I was gonna say,
but like I
I'm
said,
kicking you off the channel.
no. Matt was asked, "How did Wes Craven die?" I have no idea.
No, I said
I
when.
Oh,
When did he die?
oh
um,
man,
oh God,
2015, I think. I
2015?
think 2015.
This still seems a little bit too
I
early to make a
can
new Scream
on.
movie then. Still seems a little bit
Dale
too
could
early.
Google it. I think
Yes.
2015.
I'm actually gonna Google it just to be funny.
I think 2015.
Because if it's 2015, that's still too early in my opinion. Just wait. Just wait. Still too soon.
Yeah.
But actually, I'll give
I
my
just don't
rating.
like I said.
August August 30th, 2015.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I was right. I didn't even like. I was just lowballing it, to be honest. I was just like, yeah, I think 2015. Like, um, yeah, but it's just weird. I just don't like having a new creative team. Just like it
Yeah.
just feels weird for me. I just
I know
feel
this is
Especially
gonna
after a death.
I know this is gonna be a really hard subject, but I found out how he died.
Oh god,
what
what?
was it? Was it like
A brain tumor.
oh
Uh,
I
that's
looked it up because I was just like, you know what? We might as well say it while we're at it because we're all like, how did he die? Brain tumor.
yeah, that's awful. He was him and like John Carpenter were like they're like the 80s horror he because not only did he make Scream, but well he made Scream, but more importantly is he made Nightmare on Elm Street. And
Hmm.
Freddy is iconic,
yeah.
and we wouldn't have Freddy without
I'm still
him.
saying this now. Robert Englund, best Freddy. No one could say otherwise.
No, you're right. There will never be.
The
No,
2010 one made me throw up.
in
I
2020,
actually genuinely wanted to die because
I
of how bad that one
fucking
was.
hate it. I fucking hate it.
Don't get me wrong. I'll put it this way. The potential is there, but it really made me hate it because it wasn't him. You know what I mean?
You know
I was looking
what
at it as like a new angle, but it's just, I can't.
I just didn't like that they took something that was implied and just made it the plot point.
Hmm.
With Freddy, it's like he was a child killer, and it was and it was sort of implied he was a pedophile, but they didn't really explore that. But in the remake, they were like, yeah, let's just make him a full creep, like hands down, let's just do it. And it was absolutely just so
Hmm.
unnerving like that.
Yeah, that
And
stuff
I
is
think Freddy
very
looked like
iffy.
shit too. I think Freddy looks shitty too.
Oh God,
It's like,
that's
oh,
another story.
he's supposed to look like a realistic burn victim. I don't fucking care. He looks like shit. He
He
doesn't.
looked he looked so awful to me. I will give them this. The clothing was perfect. The
Yeah,
hat was better. But the what is it? I can't think of it. The
glove.
makeup that they did for him, it was
Yeah,
just awful. It like I was intrigued because of the freaking outfit. I was like, all right, that's not bad. The rest of him sucked. Hell, I hated his voice. I hated his
yeah,
voice because it
yeah.
was all like, I'm way down here. When Freddy's really like, yeah, come on, bitch, let's do this, bitch. Come on, fucking do it, bitch. That's
yeah.
all it was just his normal voice. Maybe a little bit of like, an American
It
accent.
was Well, with Freddy's voice, it was always like you can look it up on YouTube with Robert talking about it. It was always just a voice modifier, but it wasn't like too much. I think it was just like a bit more pitch down, but it wasn't like something that was like too down.
Yeah, right. That one was way down.
Like it was like, but yeah, but that's another discussion for another time with like horror movies and stuff. Because I've already talked on this channel how much I hate the Halloween remakes.
Yeah.
Fuck those movies too. Rob Zombie was being petty towards John Carpenter. Like, come on, man.
Hmm.
Don't be petty. But yeah. So with that,
Something I want to say is,
alright.
I rate this movie a 9.9. Just to fucking spite you guys.
Just to spite us, just to have
Matt,
that.
how could
You
you?
don't
It's
get
not
the
like I
extra
cared.
0.1. Fuck you.
I like how you're like, oh wow, I made it a 9.99 just to piss you guys off, but like 9.99 is still really good, and if you just round it up,
Yeah.
it'll be a 10 anyway.
You know what? We're going with
Dumbass.
0.999 and 0.000. Whatever. So if you're
Matt,
actually
you're still
mad
saying
about
it's almost a 10 already. Just stop embarrassing
I'm
yourself.
giving it a 9 out of 100. Fuck you.
9 out of 100. Oh my god. So you're saying it's really awful then?
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck Tom Holland. He stole Zendaya from me.
I know. You must have been pretty like pissed off when Tom was
What?
like, I want to start a family.
When I found
Oh
out
my
Tom Holland,
god.
when I found out Tom
I remember
Holland,
I remember seeing on like TikTok, and there's so many memes of people just saying, "I want to throw hands with Tom for saying that."
Yo, I wouldn't throw hands. I'd let him shake my hand and say, I give you respect.
I respect that man.
I respect him because at least he has the balls to say it. You know
Like
what I mean? It's that
like I want to take a break from acting and start a family, and everyone's just posting memes of how do I join the Sinister Six. I think that's what Matt's doing. He's like googling right now. He's like, how do I stop? How do I join the Sinister Six? Stop him.
how do I
Yeah.
become Tom Holland?
Good stuff. Yeah.
well, we should probably end it here, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Because we yeah. Yep.
So our overall review is this movie was probably the best of this year or of last year or whatever.
yeah,
And
probably the best movie of 2021. Definitely, I would say in terms of Spider-Man movies, I would put it like obviously number one with Into the Spider-Verse and
yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. In terms of MCU movies, it is probably top 5 or top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Just like Marvel movies like in general.
I would say if I'm looking at mine's probably in second, the first place being Endgame.
I get that.
Endgame was fucking beautiful. I loved it with a burning passion.
I think when I look back on it, I think I might have liked Infinity War more for being more darker, but Endgame was still the shit though.
Well, see, here's how I looked at it: is Infinity War, Endgame is that one. Like to me, it's that one movie you need to watch at one time. Like even if they're two separate movies, I count them as one. I don't know why. It's just it seems right
Well,
to count it as one movie.
if you remember when how long ago was this? Because I'm trying to remember. Okay, I think it was like back in either 2015 or 2016. This is how much of a Marvel fan I remember this shit. When they were announcing all the upcoming movies at the time. The event of Infinity War was going to be a part 1 and part 2 sort of thing. And then later down the line when they were like actually developing the movie, they were like, yeah, so we're gonna just have Infinity War be one movie because Infinity War quote unquote part 2 was gonna be it just felt like a completely different movie for them. So they were like, let's just separate them, not do like a part 1, part 2 sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I can understand, but I feel like but I think if it would be more interesting if they were like, this is only just the beginning, sort of thing.
No, I understand that. It's just to me, I feel
Yeah,
like it should have been like one whole movie because it just seems right.
yeah. Like yeah, it's Infinity War and Endgame are really good to watch back to back. It's good. In terms of um yeah, with that. But yeah, see, no one home. Um, and I don't know if there's more for us to say other than how awesome this movie was.
Yeah,
But
I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say.
didn't you want to say something before? Like you told me you wanted to make an announcement or something.
Oh
That's what
no,
you
that
said. You wrote something in the chat like you wanted to.
Yeah, you wanted to say something before you introduced us, actually.
Yeah.
oh that
Let's do that now.
I did that way out of order because okay, to them I said before we begin, let me go over a couple of things I want to make important for
This
the
is
review.
just how unimprovised we are. By the way, we
Yeah.
don't do. This is just shows that we don't do
Um.
scripts or anything. We're just completely
Yeah, we just go
improvised.
into it.
So the first thing I said, I have a couple of things to say in the video. Won't take long, but after that, I'll immediately introduce you guys. I said
Yeah.
what I wanted to say after I introduced you guys. So I was like, "Fuck, I need to say it now." Basically,
It's just,
if you guys are blind, I'm playing Mario Kart Wii in the background. Because I recently I got a CTGP recently. So,
what?
I got CTGP recently, so I figured I'm
Um,
playing it now in this video. I know you don't. I know you don't understand what that is, Jake. But it's a whole.
I don't.
It's basically custom tracks for Mario Kart
Okay.
Wii. And
Oh, is it that thing that you posted in the other chat or whatever?
yes, I
Oh,
spent
I
4 years
want to
trying
try
to
that
get
so bad.
yeah.
When I'm able to see you, I want to try that so bad.
I
That looks so
hate that
cool.
like I don't mean to keep like the video going, but there's like since you're bringing up like video games and stuff, is a point about this movie is when we talked about when we did the suit tier list and we talked about the No Way Home suits, we kind of put the suits at sort of this oh yeah, that was my other question. I'm so this is how unimprovised with the suits in the movie, when we did the tier list, did you guys think they moved up after seeing the movie or did they move down or what do you guys think?
I don't
I
even
I
hate
feel like
to
the
remember.
hate
black. Where was the black suit again?
the black and gold. I'm talking about the black and gold suit and the red and
No,
black.
no, but I'm saying in the tier list, do we remember where the black and gold one was?
It
I think
probably was
I
at the
think I
top.
think we have it posted in the chat. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. I'm gonna we might I think he's I think okay, it wasn't in the tier list actually. Now I'm looking at it. But I think said for the black and gold suit, I think we either put it at B or C.
I feel like
I
that
think
suit should get an A no matter what.
and
That suit
the
just
red
felt more
black
right.
and the red black and gold suit, I think we put it at A if I remember correctly.
Red, black, and gold.
I
We
feel like
you,
just the
we,
pure
we
black
can't
and
even
gold one.
we don't even remember where we put it because the recording is like was never got recorded, so
It
now
never
we
got
have
recorded because we freaking
We
didn't
did
but
record
do
it.
a redo
I
of it,
had some
but
I'll say this about the red black.
we were just so out of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But with the red, black, and gold suit pretty much grew on me, and is probably my favorite. Like, but obviously not like I'm talking about before the classic suit came into the picture. At the end of the movie. In terms of like beforehand, the red, black, and gold suit is probably my favorite MCU Spider-Man suit before the classic suit came in, and just was like knocked them all out of the water,
Yeah.
like into oblivion. So and another reason for that is because I got I don't mean to flex or anything, but I got a PS5 for Christmas, and I was able to play the remastered of the Spider-Man PS4 or whatever, and you can only get the red, black, and gold suit, the No Way Home suits, if you played the remastered on PS5. And I got to, and
Really.
I did a playthrough of the game in that suit, and I just thought it looked really good in the game and cinematically as well. So I'll say, and it's probably my second favorite MCU Spider-Man suit. Number one, obviously, being by default the classic suit at the end of the movie. Please do not change it. Please just keep it forever. Um, I want it to stay. I know the MCU loves changing the costumes every movie. Please don't. Please, you guys just got it right, and you can't change it now. The only one I'll accept for changing it is if you do the black suit. That's it. Other than that, you need to keep the classic suit. Like, no questions asked.
Yeah,
No question.
I enjoy the black suits a lot. There should be
Did
more
you
black
see the?
suits.
I know. I think the guy that did the concept art for No Way Home did his own design of the black suit, and it looks fucking amazing for a black suit for MCU Spider-Man, and it looks fucking amazing. It's like comic act, like it looks like it's like the classic black suit, and it looks fucking
Oh my god,
badass. And
I enjoy
I
the
want
black.
to see that.
I enjoy the black suits way much.
Oh, I was in the same boat when I was a kid. I was like, I don't want anything if it didn't involve the black suit, because the black suit's cool.
Yeah.
Black suit's cool.
Actually, I just remember what I wanted to say earlier about something else. I
Okay.
enjoyed which was a controversial topic in who was it? Toby's films. I enjoyed when they basically made Peter in those movies deal with like in real life stuff and grieving as well. Cause like that just signifies like, hey, he's also human too. He deals with shit. So I enjoyed that human aspect.
Oh yeah, that scene with them on the rooftop just talking, that was an absolutely beautiful scene.
Yeah.
I like, when Andrew just said like, I just, I just don't want you to end up like me because I got angry and I got bitter after my girlfriend died. Like,
yeah.
Like, that was just such a heartbreaking thought. He was like, I try to. It's just such a depressing, like, it was just so depressing. Where he's like, I try to keep going, try to keep being that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but after a while, I just got angry. I got vengeful. I stopped pulling my punches, and that's a dark thing to say, because if you don't know about Spider-Man's pretty strong, and he has to pull his punches all the fucking time. Because if he punches with his full strength, he will kill people. So Andrew Spider-Man probably has killed a couple people.
Yeah.
In like anger, and that's just such a dark thing.
Look at Tom Holland. He was about to kill the freaking Green Goblin.
He was about to like Mortal Kombat fatality Green Goblin, to be honest, with his glider. He was about to like do some shit.
But the bad thing is I kind of wanted to see that happen. I don't know why, but I really wanted to see it happen.
Well, it's because...
Like, as much as I will say, I loved Norman's character, but I really wanted Tom to do it. I was like, Tom.
I also really like their fight in Happy's apartment when all the villains just go rogue. In Green Goblin and Spider-Man fight. Green Goblin was being a mess, just slamming him through like walls and stuff.
Oh yeah,
just punching him through walls and doing like suplexes.
that scene where Tom just kept hitting him and he was just smiling like, damn, that's kinky.
And he was laughing.
Yeah.
Hit me like one of your French girls.
Hit me harder, daddy. It's like, hit me harder, daddy.
You know what? This is so funny because we said we were going to stop the video, but this is just how good this movie is that we just can't stop talking about it.
Well, yeah, I just remember what else
we probably should stop.
Can't stop.
Can't stop.
This just shows how good this movie is. We just can't stop talking about it, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I remember this part, and this was so good."
All of us are just like, we should really end the video, and then someone's just like, "Hey, you guys remember when Peter just peed?"
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's end it now, and then if we have anything, we'll just talk about it amongst ourselves for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This
But
is probably a super long video. No, it's funny is that Matt said that this video shouldn't be over 40 minutes, and here we
yes,
are.
I said let's try and make it
Right.
20 minutes, and it's almost 2
Because
hours.
no one's gonna watch an hour-long video, but here we are. You'll probably put some timestamps or something too,
I
probably.
probably will. I don't know what the hell I
Just for
will put the
everyone's
timestamps
sanity.
as, but I'll put spoilers and non-spoilers ones, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
that's
Yeah.
going to do it. If you enjoyed and you
yeah,
somehow made
thank
it
you
this
for
far,
watching.
Thanks, guys.
like
I
the
hope you guys.
video.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the movie. If you guys
Yeah.
actually saw it, if you didn't go see it and you somehow made it to the end and you just didn't care about spoilers, just go watch this movie anyway.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Mhm.
It's a once in a lifetime movie
It
experience.
is. So watch it.
Like, I would love to just go back to that night I saw it opening night and just to watch it all for the first time all over again.
I definitely
It's the
recommend
same
watching
thing for
it.
me.
But like, it's
It-
so emotional that it will leave you saying, "I got some dirt in my eye."
I love how you're pulling Bully McGuire memes. That's just absolutely good job, Matt. You get like a solid A+. I highly respect that.
Once I understand references, I will blow them out of the water. Like, I'll bring them up so much.
I'm probably gonna link a Bully McGuire video that I absolutely love at the end of this. I just love those memes just so much, and I love how they. No, I god damn it! But I laughed so hard when Norman said, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yes,
Look at
that too.
I was like,
I
yes,
remember that.
they understand the memes.
Yeah, I love that so much. I'm trying to think of any others that were.
I know they did. I know they did the pointing. I know they did the
Oh
pointing,
yeah,
but
with
they
the
didn't
Peter
do it in
C.
full. They didn't do it in full. They did it the pointing a couple times, but they didn't do it in full costume. And Andrew apparently said that there is a a behind the scenes photo of them doing it in full costume, and I want to see it.
I want
I
to see it
want to
too.
see that now that you said it.
But they did it. They did it a couple times, like in like the lab scene when you talk about like the computer, like they did it, and then they did it during the final battle when they were like trying to coordinate everything. But
yeah.
apparently with like, but I think Andrew apparently said there is a photo of them like full costume, masks up, and everything, with them pointing at each other, and I want to
yeah.
see that.
I do
I want to
too.
see it.
It's a dumb fuck pointing at a dumb fuck.
But like, I know we like, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for
You probably
watching.
should have. Thanks, guys. Hit that like button and hit that bell icon.
Hit the motherfucking sub
Yeah,
button.
go watch this fucking awesome movie.
Yes.
Even if you did, go watch it again, please.
God, now I have to watch it again. God damn it, Jake.
Go watch it again. Dell's gonna quickly look up more showtimes and see if he can find a way to go again. I think it's coming. Oh my God, yeah. I think it's coming out digitally next month.
Next month.
What? No Way Home.
I know it's up for pre-order right now, but I think it's gonna be released digitally next month, like digitally.
Wow.
Well, once it comes
So
out,
yeah,
we should all
not
hang
physically,
out.
I think
should-
I think physically it'll come out in April. I should say, like that's what it said when I ordered mine. It said April and March, but in terms of like just digital, like it's I think it's next month. So be on the lookout for that if you don't want to go to the theater because we know the pandemic's kind of spiking up again with new variants and stuff. So if you don't want to go to the
If
theater,
you don't want to be mean, hit
you
that
can-
like button.
yeah.
If you don't want Omnicron, subscribe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Don't end up like on me. Or Gren. So sub.
Or Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Or Uncle Ben.
Andrew's Spider-Man career after the second Amazing Spider-Man. But hey, if you sub, it'll be revitalized like your Spider-Man career did in this movie.
Hashtag make TASM 3.
Yes.
Hmm.
With that out of the way, we will see you guys next time. And we'll see you guys when we review The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna go jerk off Disney Day now.